If you were a child in the 70s, chances are you played with one of these, but by the 80s they disappeared. Now Mego and the Man of Steel fly back for collectors and a new generation of play. Mego was founded in 1954 by David Abrams as a creator of toys for five and dime stores, or our equivalent to today's dollar store. Its name originated from David's youngest son, who would say, "Mego too." In 1971, David's other son, Marty Abrams, aka the father of action figures, decided to switch the company's direction to making 8-inch licensed dolls with interchangeable bodies and fabric costumes, which created a new industry standard. Their line included the long-running World's Greatest Superhero series that featured Batman, Robin, Aquaman, and Superman. Over the years, the continued Mego popularity expanded to release dolls from famous TV shows and movies until 1982. Mego filed for bankruptcy and completely dissolved the following year, making the original versions valuable collectibles. Fast forward 35 years to 2018 when Mego reformed and came back with a limited run of the classic clothed dolls. Today they continue to remain strong with various size figures and continued releases from American pop culture. Now let's unbox 3 of the new Mego Man of Steel to compare. Starting with the 2019 Wave 4 DC52 14-inch Superman. The box is thin and tall like classic Mego packaging and marked with an 8+ in the top corner. It also bears a gold holographic Mego seal sticker and a specific number assigned to each doll, as these were part of an official limited edition run with original detail and quality. Raised with high moral ideals, Superman uses his incredible strength, speed, flight, and various other superpowers to fight evil and protect the innocent. This Superman is modeled after DC52 and retains all the classic elements of Superman with a revamped, more modern costume. It features his signature jet black hair with curl and blue eyes. His fabric suit is dark blue with darker blue outlines for details. The S on his chest is painted on and has been modified to an updated look, spreading almost the entire way across his chest. He has a red belt that is actually a separate adjustable plastic piece that is not attached to the fabric like previous Megos. His cape is deep red and flows longer than the classic Superman, going down past his knees. His removable boots are also red and feature the same outlines, much like the costume. And to note, his hands are now in a fist form, unlike the open hands from before. Finally, he comes along with a yellow tint kryptonite, unlike the common green, and features 3 crystals. And to round it out, features 14 points of articulation in the head, arms, elbows, wrists, waist, legs, knees, and ankles. Next up, the 2020 8-inch DC Classic Superman. The box comes in the classic Mego packaging with the figure on the right side. The big difference in the top corner is now the 17+, unlike the 8+, going after more of the collectors, and now features a new World's Greatest Mego Heroes logo as a tribute to the line from the 70s. He's faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive. The Man of Steel fights a never-ending battle for truth, justice, and the American way. This figure is very much like what most people know of Mego. Standing at 8 inches tall, he's donning the classic Superman fabric costume, complete with the classic Superman S logo, yellow belt, and infamous red trunks. Black hair with his signature curl, blue eyes, and cleft chin is what you find on his head sculpt. The S icon is actually part of the costume, unlike the other versions that are painted on. He comes with 2 red removable boots, his classic red cape with logo on the back, and a small neon green piece of kryptonite. His hands are also back in the classic open palm Mego form, and as usual features the same 14 points of articulation. Lastly, we take our 8-inch classic and make him grow for the 2021 14-inch DC Classic Superman. This box, unlike the other 14-inch, is much wider and displays much more of the figure. Just like the 8-inch, it features a 17+ on the top corner. Superman, the last son of Krypton, is powering his way back. It's a bird, it's a plane, it's Superman. At 14 inches high, he's almost an exact replica of his 8-inch little brother. A slightly different face sculpt, but still has the signature curl, black hair, and blue eyes. A beautiful blue fabric costume, trunks, belt and all. The belt is sewn into the fabric, but does feature a plastic yellow belt buckle. 2 removable red boots with a little different design than his 8-inch counterpart. And finally, a red flowing cape with the Superman emblem. The big difference with this new version are the removable hands. The figure comes with the standard open hands, but you can swap them out with the interchangeable Fists of Fury. Add to that the usual 14 points of articulation, and you have yourself a classic Mego in 14-inch form. No matter what version you like, big or small, classic or newer, they're all available to add to your collection over at ToyShnip.com, including a 14-inch version of Superman's best buddy, Batman, the Dark Knight himself. Maybe superheroes aren't your thing. While you're there, check out the brand new 14-inch versions that just came in, including Dr. Spock, Dracula, and the creature from the Black Lagoon. 14-inch toys too big for your liking? Well, ToyShnip.com also has a huge 8-inch collection of Megos as well. I'm Turco from ToyShnip, and this has been Out of the Box. Remember to subscribe and click the bell to be notified of more fun on the way from ToyShnip.com.